Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. We're here this morning for our Administrative Matters meeting, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, I call this meeting to order, and good morning, everyone. I'm Kristen Stevens, Chair of the Board of County Commissioners. With me are my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Jody Shattuck McNally and Commissioner John Kafalis from the Clerk's Office. Helping us with record keeping, we have Lindsay Jones. We have Lorenda Volker, our county manager, with us this morning, Tom Clayton from Public Affairs, and Sarah Martin from the Commissioner's Office. We will begin, as we always do, with public comment. We have one person signed up for public comment. That's Cindy Buckhart. Cindy will ask you to come up and introduce yourself, and as always, you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Cindy Buckhart, President of the Larimer County 4-H Foundation. The Larimer County 4-H Foundation held its 66th carnival on March 1st, and it was not until March 24th that the foundation received an email from Connor McGrath, the director of the ranch. Not a formal written letter, not a phone call, just an email stating ongoing noncompliance with facility policies. Mr. McGrath stated all event food to be commercially prepackaged and sourced from licensed distributors, which to the best of our knowledge it was. We have not received any documentation which states otherwise as to what 4-H clubs, the foundation, or vendors specifically is being accused of violating this policy. Despite reaching out to Mr. McGrath on several occasions asking for documentation, nothing has been provided. As far as there having been ongoing noncompliance by the foundation, this is a false statement. Mr. McGrath also stated that all policy violations across all user groups is addressed the same to ensure fairness. The statement of all user groups being addressed the same, does that include Larimer County? How about the pancake breakfast at the county fair? The food is not served prepackaged. In fact, the pancakes are prepared by volunteers, not OVG. The ham and sausage are not prepackaged, nor is the maple syrup or butter. How about the food served at a 4-H horse show a few weeks ago? The 4-H club that prepared the food sold from crock pots, not received any reprimand. Does that include the Chocolate and Cheese Festival and their vendors, as I pointed out previously? Or is the foundation being singled out? What is the equity? A question to you: by removing the Larimer County 4-H Foundation from the ranch event complex, how much money is the county saving? Is this another avenue to make the ranch self-sustainable, removing the cost the 4-H Foundation imposes? Isn't it interesting that after battling with the ranch all through 2024 until December 26th, that the foundation has finally declared a 4-H entity so the foundation is not charged for the upcoming carnival, per the Thomas and McKee Trust, to have the foundation removed from the ranch facilities following the carnival only 60 days later? Lori Cadrich sent an email June 17th which stated every director has spoken to me about food sales at the ranch. Point of clarification, there was Diane Frick, the interim director, and now Connor McGrath. I'm not sure what every director means. She also stated contract violations, and I can ask for the documentation of violations. The Larimer County 4-H Foundation should be reinstated to the entire use of the ranch events complex effective immediately. We have furnished you documentation that covers the last 6 years, illustrating the foundation has been in compliance. You, the county commissioners, have the authority to reinstate the Larimer County 4-H Foundation, and I challenge you to do what is right and equitable. Or the alternative is to take actions against these other entities, including yourself, Larimer County.
Thank you, Cindy. There's no one else here, so I assume there's nobody who wants to give public comment. Sarah, was there anyone who wanted to call in?
No, Commissioner. Okay,
then we'll close public comment, bring it back to the commissioners for any comments. Excuse me, Commissioner Shattuck.
I just want to state that I disagree with some of the information that was given. I don't know if that's completely accurate. A letter was sent to the foundation and to the whole board with all the timeline and information that was needed, and that has been stated today. And I think that is all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kafalis, anything to add?
Just based on all the information at hand that we've received over the last couple of years, I think our perspective is different. Our support for 4-H and 4-H Foundation is very important and, in my opinion, unwavering. I don't think we're trying to single out the 4-H Foundation. We're trying to be fair and consistent in terms of policies, and that is all.
Thank you, Commissioner. I don't have anything. I echo the comments that both commissioners have made. So we will move on to our next agenda item, which is approval of the minutes. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, I'll ask you to make that motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the minutes for the week of June 30th, 2025.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 That motion passes 3-0. And we will move on to our upcoming schedule review.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for July 14th through the 19th, 2025. On Monday, July 14th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioners Stevens and Shattuck McNally will attend the 2025 National Association of Counties Annual Conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On Tuesday, July 15th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Community Corrections Advisory Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. From 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be administrative direction to county management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. On Wednesday, July 16th from 7:45 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the City of Fort Collins /Poudre School District /Larimer County Liaison meeting at City Hall at 300 LaPorte Avenue in Fort Collins. From 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will speak at the 2025 Colorado Region 8 Community Action Conference opening welcome address at Embassy Suites at 4705 Clydesdale Parkway in Loveland. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Colorado Hospital Transformation Program Community Advisory Meeting. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session regarding special events, land use code update, and discussion of code topics and public engagement approach in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Wellington Community Services Center second annual Cereal Box Community Concert at Centennial Park at 3815 Harrison Avenue in Wellington. On Thursday, July 17th from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., I'm assuming that's a.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Housing Catalyst Board of Commissioners meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it's at 1715 West Mountain Avenue in Fort Collins or virtually via boardable video. From 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may participate in the virtual Medicaid System of Care Implementation Advisory Committee meeting. From 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual North Front Range Metropolitan Planning Organization Finance Committee meeting. From 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Estes Valley Planning Advisory Committee meeting. On Friday, July 18th from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual NOCO Partners meeting. From 9:15 a.m. to 10:15 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis will participate in the 2025 Colorado Region 8 Community Action Conference Local Elected Officials Panel at Embassy Suites at 4705 Clydesdale Parkway in Loveland. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioners may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together member check-in meeting. From 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioners may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together discussion with Attorney General Phil Weiser. On Saturday, July 19th from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioners may attend the Glen Haven Volunteer Fire Department Annual Pancake Breakfast at 7380 County Road 43 in Glen Haven. From 11 a.m. to 10 a.m., I guess that should be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis will host story time at the Larimer County's Farmers Market at 200 West Oak Street in Fort Collins. From 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Buckeye and Wedby Neighborhood Block Party. And that's it.
Thank you, Sarah. Any corrections or additions? Commissioner Shattuck McNally?
I just wanted to add and inform my colleagues that on Tuesday, July 15th, I will be heading down to the Capitol. I'm not sure if it's going to be at 10 o'clock or later in the afternoon, but I will let you know as soon as I can, sir. But I'll be attending and testifying as my role on the Forest Health Council in front of the General Assembly Joint Wildfire Matters Review Interim Committee. And so as soon as I get that date, Sarah, I'll our time, it's that date. Right now I have it hopefully from 10 to 12 and kind of will be calling in to the admin matters meeting, but I just wanted to kind of get everyone's head up. I just got notified of that over the weekend. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kofalis, any additions? Okay, I think we're good, Sarah. Thanks. So moving on, our next item is the consent agenda. I'll read through those items. The first items are abatements. There are 3 abatements or refund of taxes. You can get more details online if you wish on those. We have 6 agreements on the consent agenda. The first is reimbursement agreement for Red Feather Lakes Area Wildfire Defense Project. The Office of Emergency Management received a grant award through the U.S. Forest Service Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program for purposes of implementing the Red Feather Lakes Area Wildfire Defense Project. The award amount was approximately $9.6 million with no match requirement. Colorado State University is a pass-through entity for this. The Coalition for the Poudre Watershed is working closely and collaboratively with Larimer County to manage the grant project, so definitely a good news item here. And the total dollar amount is $4.7 million. We have a First Amendment to lease, which gives us an option to terminate the lease at 2643 Midpoint on July 31st, 2025. With a remaining cost of $21,000 due by July 15th, 2025. We have a State of Colorado intergovernmental agreement between the Health Care Policy, Financing, and Larimer County Office on Aging. The purpose of this contract is to expand the capacity of aging and disability resources for Colorado ADRC and to enable ADRC site to respond to minimum data set. That is a contract that runs through June 30th, 2026, and the total dollar amount is $148,592. The next is approving a first amended restated intergovernmental agreement for funding of bridge and roadway construction over Dry Creek. And this is between Larimer County and City of Loveland. The cost will be shared on this. It's approximately $3.9 million. Next, approving a bid of B2512 PN 6508 and 6513 contract award. This is at the fairgrounds for widening and parking lot expansion. And the total dollar amount is approximately $2.6 million. Next is an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Fort Collins and Larimer County regarding shared road maintenance costs. And this allows the county to perform road maintenance on behalf of the City of Fort Collins for sections of road that are in Fort Collins. And the City of Fort Collins is responsible for maintaining and provides reimbursement to the county for approximately $180,000. We have 4 liquor licenses. One is findings and order for Regen Fitness Club. This is a new license for beer and wine. Then there's a special event liquor license permit 6% for Realities for Children Ride and Rally. Then that's a special event permit 6%. Next is a liquor license modification of premises for Blam LLC doing business as a Thirsty Moose. That's in Red Feather Lakes, and that is a hotel and restaurant with optional premises. And finally, a liquor license transfer of ownership for the Masonville Mercantile LLC, and that is a fermented malt beverage on and off premises. One miscellaneous item, which is a request to enter lands to do weed mitigation. There are 4 resolutions. First is a finding and resolution approving a rezoning for the Van Haddam rezoning, and that is moving that zoning from our rural residential to light industrial, which is consistent with the zoning district. Next is findings and resolutions approving the Neubauer Conservation Development Preliminary Plat. This is subdividing a 50-acre parcel that was owned RR or rural residential into 4 residential lots and a residual lot. Public hearing was held on June 23rd, 2025. There's findings and resolutions approving the Mead Administrative Special Review for a short-term rental, and that is a 3-bedroom plus 1 additional sleeping area in an existing home. And the public hearing for this item was held on June 23rd, 2025 as well. And finally, a findings and resolutions approving the Jacobs Conservation Development Preliminary Plat and Appeal. This is to subdivide a 35-acre parcel into 2 lots, and the public hearing for this item was June 23rd, 2025. So with that, would either commissioner want to remove anything from the consent agenda? All right, no hands raised on that. So I will ask Commissioner Kafalis to make a motion on this.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the consent agenda for July 8th, 2025.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on any of these items? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes 3-0. From the looks of things, we don't have any commissioner guests because the room is mostly empty except for someone nice who's here to protect us. And so we have no discussion items either. We will move on to county manager update. Lorenda, you are up.
Well, this is going to be really short, too. It was a short week last week. A lot of folks were out, but some interesting mail arrived for us last week. We were notified by the Colorado House of Representatives that a section of Colorado State Highway 1 from East County Road 60 to Interstate 25 in Larimer County has been named the Commissioner Lou Gator III Memorial Highway. Commissioner Gator did pass away in office on September 18th, 2018. So this is coming kind of unexpectedly, but I think it's a really nice honor for his family, and I wanted the public and you all to be aware. So great thing for them.
Thank you, Lorenda. That is really nice news, and I'm glad for the family. It's been a while coming, but glad to see that it happened.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So we'll do commissioner activity reports, and Commissioner Kafalis, we'll start with you.
Just mentioning that last week we all were gathered here for the, I forget what year, but the Environmental Stewardship Awards that we put on through the Environmental Science Advisory Board. It was there were 4 awardees, and one of them was Shelley Bayard DeVolo from our engineering department, who has served as the staff liaison for quite a number of years. So that was a very nice event. It was great to honor folks that are good environmental stewards organizations and folks. The only other thing I'll mention is 4th of July activities. I think we were all here and there. On the 4th, there was a wonderful event at the Poudre Park, Lower Poudre Canyon Association, for the ribbon cutting for their new building or their renovated building, which the county was able to help with a bit with federal resources. It was a wonderful parade. and then I actually went over to Wellington, participated there, met a few folks. And then the next day I went with my wife up to Red Feather Lakes they do their celebration on Saturday, July 5th. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you. And thank you, Lorenda, for that great news. I know that's a long time coming. Sounds like that's a very involved process. So thanks for that news. I'll just also just echo the Environmental Science Advisory Boards. I think it's the 30th year I think so. And it was some great folks, including the YMCA, that received award for their, and you can watch this on video on the Spotlight, but they did some a book to show how they can all do both recycling and composting up there. And I just happened to be hiking around the YMCA on Sunday, and so in the kind of the trails around Rock National Park, because you can go from the YMCA to hike into the park. And I just was on the east side of the park a lot on Sunday, and then also the Compost Queen, which is a small business here in town and up here in Fort Collins, and I've gotten to know them, do some tours, and that's a hardworking woman entrepreneur, and her husband's very works for her and very involved, and it's great to see that kind of innovative business and entrepreneurship thriving in Larimer County. So I appreciate all the awards for everyone, and it was great to celebrate all of that, along with honoring Shelley. The other item that I want, well, it's a few other items I wanted to, again, even though they don't work for us, they actually have influence a lot with their work. Went to Beth and Jeremy Yonce's retirement party in the city of Fort Collins. I have had the honor and privilege of working with Beth Yonce as the representative for Fort Collins on the Regional Opioid Abatement Council, and we've gotten to know each other and gone to conferences. And she started off as a code compliance officer, I believe, and worked her way up. And Jeremy has worked in the police department for 30 years and ended up helping at the end managing all the fleets, and came up with such a great system. And I just wanted to kind of take a moment and wish them congratulations again. Today is their first day of retirement. They're not working today, when you think about staff who work so long for 60 years combined service to the city of Fort Collins and the community in lots of different areas, they do leave a legacy and mark in supporting the electeds through all that work. And our staff, just like in Fort Collins, and our staff here really do the work and the boots on the ground and help us implement policies and things. And I just wanted to recognize that long-term service. Not too many folks get to work in one place for 30 years, and that's quite remarkable, let alone a couple that has worked 60 years combined. So that I thought that was remarkable, and I thank them for inviting us, and thank Beth for her, I've said it before, her very measured and informed work together on the Regional Opioid Abatement Council. So I'll miss her greatly with our discussions. Then also I had a meeting with Senator Hickenlooper's office, Sally Bocella, his regional director. Going forward, we're going to try to combine a joint meeting for all of us to kind of to share the time and kind of break up that. But they wanted to share some of the updates with the federal government, but it's all been the news, so I don't need to repeat all that. Everyone's been paying attention to the vote and things from last week, which was disappointing for us. So I won't go into that much longer than that. And then we had a rural action and prep work for the conference speaker for the National Association of Counties last week. And so I'm looking forward to that panel and work and presenting some information from Larimer County at the conference for the National Association of Counties. And that was really a great opportunity to show and shine the work of our Office of Emergency Management and our team that works with that. I also had a chance to talk with Banner Health. They've hired a consultant to do a community strategic plan. I did an interview with them, and they were talking, they were talking about, hospital systems can't solve all the issues. And I was like, we know that, because that's kind of how we view it too. And that's why we have all these strategic plans. So I think it was a great opportunity to connect with some of the folks with Banner Health and McKee Medical Center and some of the work and showing all the work the county does, and especially with behavioral health. So I think it was a very informative discussion. So I wanted to just share that as well, that the McKee's looking to do a community strategic plan, and they're getting some information from that. On 4th of July is a very active day. My family was all working, including some of my children. Their research doesn't allow them to not go into the lab for a day. But I started off in Johnstown, which is still Larimer County, at the Station 10 for the Loveland Fire Rescue Authority annual pancake breakfast. Appreciate the firefighters welcoming their families and the great pancakes. And we had some great conversations with some of the City of Loveland counselors, also along with, I need to get you that picture, Tom, along with the board some of the board members for the rural part of the Loveland Fire Rescue Authority. And so I appreciate those conversations conversations. I did come up and kind of walk around the Fort Collins parade. I wish they had started a little sooner. I'd like to have walked a little bit, but it was great to talk with our colleagues from the city of Fort Collins City Council and some of the fire authority folks and walk around and talk to constituents, including the League of Women Voters. And so I thought that was a great conversation, a chance to say Happy 4th of July to a lot of community members along the side of the streets and families. So I got to intervene and go and talk with folks. And then I drove up and joined my colleagues at the Lower Pooter County Association for that grand opening. And I just think I had taken a meeting up there after some of the flooding when it was before it was renovated to talk about hydrology and kind of the post-fire flooding impacts when they had the Ayers and Associates come and present. And what a dramatic change. Well done. I want to just give a shout out to Marcy White and her board and the previous board and the community members who all came together, and I think we're all proud to support that with some of our American Rescue Plan funds, because it is an important community hub to bring resiliency and have the community come together for planning and gatherings like they did. They claim to have the shortest and smallest 4th of July parade in Larimer County. I think so, but it was one of the most special ones I've seen. It was great to watch and be involved with that, and I thank them for their invitation. It was great to go up there and see the outcome of the community center and how it's more ADA accessible. And again, big shout out to Marcy White and her husband for the tremendous work they did to see that get done. And then I drove to Horsetooth and did a ride along with Senior Ranger Hilty, Aubrey Hilty, and got to go through some campgrounds, some picnic. It was full. The side of the roads were full. People were parked everywhere. We walked and talked to families, gave out some Junior Ranger badges. I got to ride along with Senior Ranger and Lieutenant Senior Ranger Travis and Lieutenant Ranger Steve Gibson, and also Seasonal Ranger Quinn. And so it's just really, I'm just so impressed. I said this yesterday in the meeting with how they engage folks. When we first walk up, everyone kind of like tenses up, like, what's going on? But it was more the way they approach folks, just to say, hey, how's it going? How's your experience? What can we do for you? Are you having a good time? And it was great to see the engagement and all the managing of getting folks on and off the river and also the reservoir, and also making sure people were safe along the sides and hiking in at the picnic grounds. And I just have to commend our DNR Captain Chris Fleming for her leadership, and I want to thank again Senior Ranger Aubrey Hilty. What an amazing leader and organizer, and the work that her and Travis and Steve and all of them worked to partner with Road and Bridge and Laurie State Park to deal with kind of 4th of July impacts was impressive and well done and quite impactful. And I just want to make sure they know how much I appreciate that, because that improves public safety for everyone and make sure everyone still had a great time. Then I drove up to Estes Park to try to track down the mayor, Gary Hall. He was playing Grateful Dead set. He's a quite accomplished musician. He had invited me up and enjoyed the fireworks up there. And I'm still hoping to get a little bit closer to listen to his fine playing. And that was quite impressive to know how much he is in demand for certain genres of music. So that's all I have to share. It's certainly, I thought it was a beautiful one other thing, a beautiful weekend in Larimer County. But one other thing I want to add, and I apologize for, I thought I was done, but I wanted to just highlight to my colleagues that was one of the next 3 multi-year funding framework engagement sessions with Behavioral Health Services and the consultant they hired, Cornell Associates, I believe it is, and we had quite a crowd and some great conversations about what this looks like and kind of what are some of the gaps in conversations. And I want to just give a shout out to Amy Martonis and Madeline Novi, who did a phenomenal job opening it up and bringing up the discussion why we're doing this and how this works. And then I also had a great conversation with the Estes Valley EVICS, the Family Resource Director, Ruth Miller. Her and I had a great conversation about the needs for Spanish-speaking only families and families up in the Estes Park area who are looking for resources with housing and other behavioral health. So important work and that they do up there. And I just wanted to kind of give her a shout out because she works very hard to make sure folks understand what they do to support the community. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll be brief. Just on Tuesday afternoon, I went over to City Hall after our meetings, and they did a proclamation for Disability Pride Month. So that was fun to stand up with leaders in the disability community and members of the Disability Advisory Board to proclaim July as Disability Pride Month. So, and there was a really nice reception. It was great to see everyone. It was very well attended, and so really enjoyed that. Seeing some folks I used to work with at the city. And then, as Commissioner Shattuck McNally said, both Jeremy and Beth Yance retired last week. I have worked with Beth for probably about 15 years because I worked with Beth before I became a city council member with the Community Development Block Grant Commission, and she has been a leader for social justice and housing in our community. Jeremy has served in the police force for 30 years, and Beth served the city extremely well and really left her mark in the space of justice issues and issues around homelessness. She definitely led the charge and provided great leadership in that space. So we will miss both of them in the city and hope they enjoy their retirement. And then, yeah, we all went to Pooter Park on 4th of July. Congratulations on the new community center. It's quite beautiful and really great use of our American Rescue Plan dollars. So that is it for me. We have no legal matters this morning. And so with that, at 9:31, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.